Hey guys, Ben from Snowboard Gamer. Welcome to my monthly roundup where I go over our top played games of the previous month. In this episode, I'll be going over our top played games in April 2018. And I do this the first Monday of every month. I do it in two different categories. One is by playtime, and I use the time on the side of the box that the game is rated at for the playtime. I don't actually track how long we play the games. If it says it plays in 60 minutes, I just record it as 60 minutes. The second group is the raw number of plays. And so hopefully that gives you a better idea of some of the longer games and the shorter games. That way some of them don't get filtered out that are still fun, but maybe just don't play as long. Hopefully both of these categories give you some good ideas of games you can play with your friends and family. Let's get right into it. For the first category, which is by playtime, the cutoff for this one was 2 or more hours, and there are 7 in this category. Number 7 is Azul. Azul is for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, and plays in 30 to 45 minutes. Azul is a fun tile drafting and tile placement game where you're tiling a wall. It is really fun. We just started playing this game and are really enjoying Azul. If you haven't tried it out yet, I definitely recommend you check it out. Super fun. Number 6, Gloomhaven. Travis and I are playing through a campaign of Gloomhaven. We played this several times. It is for 1 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, and is rated at 30 minutes per player. So when we play it, it's about an hour. Gloomhaven is a dungeon crawling game with monsters. So we each have our character, we're running through the dungeon together to complete missions, fighting monsters, going back to Gloomhaven, which is the city, getting other missions, leveling your character up. It's kind of like Zelda in board game form is the way I would describe it. It's really fun. And it is the #1 rated game on Board Game Geek. Number 5 is Charterstone. Charterstone is 1 to 6 players, ages 14 and up, and plays in 60 minutes. Charterstone is a legacy worker placement game. I'm playing it with 3 other guys that I work with. We've played through 3 games so far, and it is really fun. It just gets better each play. The first game or 2, there were a lot of rules to try and figure out, but we're really getting into the groove of Charterstone now and really enjoying it. You play a 12-game campaign. You have an individual winner of each game, and at the end of the campaign, you have an overall winner also. Charterstone is made by the same game designer as Scythe. Number 4 is Hanabi. Hanabi is for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, and plays in about 25 minutes. It is a card game where you play cooperatively and you're trying to create runs of 5 cards for the fireworks show. But you can't see the cards you're holding, so you have to give hints to everyone else about what cards they have. Really fun co-op game, plays in less than 30 minutes. And it won the Board Game of the Year 6 or 7 years ago. Number 3, Twilight Struggle. This is a 2-player only game, ages 13 and up, plays in 2 to 3 hours. It's a Cold War themed game. It's kind of like chess, Risk, Cold War, but way better. One person plays as USSR, one person plays as US, and you're fighting over control of the world, and you're either spreading communism or capitalism, and all the cards are actual events from the Cold War. This is a great one, and is in the top 5 on Board Game Geek. Number 2 is Pandemic Legacy Season 1. Our family is moving our way through the 12 to 24 game campaign of Pandemic Legacy. We are in October now. Pandemic Legacy plays 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, and plays in about 60 minutes. This is the regular Pandemic, but in a legacy format, which means you put stickers on the board, you tear cards up. Decisions you make in one game have lasting impacts on future games. It's a really fun game. And our #1 played game in April of 2018, shocker for those of you who've watched my channel before, is Secret Hitler. This is for 5 to 10 players, ages 17 and up, and plays in about 45 minutes. And Secret Hitler is a pre-World War II themed game with a liberal government in Germany and fascists trying to take over the government and install Hitler as their leader. And the liberals are trying to stop that from happening. It's just so easy to get to the table for new players. It's easy to teach, easy to learn. There's some great moments in it where there's some backstabbing and deception. The kids love it. The adults love it. It's our #1 played game of 2017, and once again is #1 in April. And I keep wondering, when is our love of Secret Hitler going to wane? It hasn't yet. It's still in the top 5 just about every month. The second group now is for play count. The cutoff for this one is we had at least 3 plays this last month of all these games. There were 8 in this category that got at least 3 plays. Start with number 8 is Gloomhaven. Already talked about that. Number 7 is Charterstone. Already talked about that. Number 6 is Azul. Also talked about. Number 5 is A Game of Thrones Hand of the King. This one did not make it in the playtime list because it's a short game, but we did play it 3 or more times. This is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and plays in 15 to 30 minutes. In Game of Thrones Hand of the King, it's a card game where you're moving Varys around, influencing all of the people in the 7 different kingdoms and trying to gain their favor to become the next Hand of the King at a feast. Really fun 15 to 30 minute game, plays very quickly, easy to learn, and it's also designed by the same game designer that designed King Domino, which won the Board Game of the Year last year, Bruno Cathala. Number 4 is Deep Sea Adventure. 2 to 6 players, ages 8 and up, and plays in about 30 minutes. This is a really fun push your luck game, 20 to 30 minutes I would say. You're rolling dice, moving your scuba diver down to the depths of the sea trying to collect treasure. If you're too risky though, you drown and drop all the treasure. So it's a much, much better version of Zombie Dice is what I would say. Number 3, Pandemic Legacy Season 1. Number 2 is Secret Hitler. And number 1 in number of plays with 6 plays is Hanabi. Now, for all you geeks out there like me who love statistics, here are a few more statistics from our month of April. We played 44 games, 18 unique games with 35 different players. It was a fun month of board games. That's it for my monthly segment of our top played games in April of 2018. What was your favorite game that you played in April? I gotta say mine was probably Azul. It is new to us. It's just got that fire that makes you want to come back for another game. So go check out Azul. Thanks everyone. We will see you next month. Bye-bye.